What is up, folks? Welcome back to another live stream repair. We've got quite a bit to catch up on here. Alright, we got a few folks emailed, so they've got time to join in and watch. What do we got first? Number 213. Almost dropped it. I guess this isn't the worst place to be dropping HomePods, though. We've got the parts. What do we got here? No power. Let's get our cameras situated. Very good. I feel like we're missing a light. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. There we go. Alright. We got no lights, no power, no nothing here. A couple of watts from the wall there. We've seen it enough times to know what that means. It's probably another dead diode. Get this apart, and we'll do a little bit of maintenance while we're in there, and hopefully that'll be the same for most of these others today, and we won't have much to complain about. Oh, I am getting hot already, though. I'm going to take this off. Raj, what is up? Welcome back. Ready for another big stream? Ah, there we go. Yeah, we're doing good here. Wife took the kid out, so we got some time to oof, dusty. Fix a few things up here. I'm hoping we can get through all of these today, so that way we can knock out some more fun repairs this weekend. We've got an iPod Classic that wants a modification. I believe it's like USB-C mod. And we've got one that we've got a radio that needs to get cleaned up and put back together. subwoofer is still in good shape. I'm getting thirsty too. Cheers, folks. Oh, is this charged? Oh, it is. I'm gonna be needing my thermal camera later to find where the heck my cat went. We recently got another cat, but they were an outside cat. They seemed like they were abandoned or something like that. So we took them in before the weather got too bad, and they have been coming around. We can pet them, they hang out. They're not really that, they're not all that feral for being outside for so long. But then I noticed I couldn't find them today. I've still got them sectioned off. I've got like a baby gate up so they only have access to a third of the house until they can acclimate and warm up to things, you know. But I can't find them. There's nowhere for them to hide, so I have no idea where they went. My only guess is they hopped over the gate, which, not unbelievable. Would be the first time though. But they must have hopped over the gate and they're hiding somewhere in this house because I cannot find them. I have looked everywhere that I could find, and I don't think they made it outside. We would have noticed a cat rushing between our legs to make it out the door. So my next best idea is to pull out the thermal camera and see if I can find any hot spots in any corners of the house that I just can't see very well. But like, this cat's a freaking magician, I guess. And I know they were here as of at least this morning. The only way out of this house is through the front door. And I've got a camera on the front door, so I would have seen them. Leaving too. Where are you, Ratman? Where are you at? I know cats are great at hiding, but I'm great at finding cats. I spent like 30 minutes before the stream trying to find him. He's got me good, or he made it out without me noticing. Alright. We got some fancy fresh new DC filters on there to keep our bass audio nice and healthy and our subwoofer speaker spanking as good as new. Let's get that dead diode out of here. That's what's actually causing their power problems, and we can see the 48 date code on there. The telltale sign of a faulty Schottky diode there is that date code. If we replace this with a brand new, bigger, better, higher quality one, it won't fail again on us. All right. That's not going anywhere. Let's get this back together. Yes. One down. We've got 179 next, it looks like. And then Rudy after that. Oh, they must have Siri turned off. But that looks like it's working. They opted for the factory. Get out of here. They opted for the factory reset and update, so we'll know for sure before we send it back either way. Here is number 179. Let's let Rudy know they're up next. There we go. Rudy 173. Let's see. 43. We texted them. All right, let me get my phone out here. Find a link to this stream. Go to my messages. And let's find Rudy. All right. Rudy has been notified. Let's fix 179 here. What do we got? No lights, no power, no nothing other than a couple of watts at the wall. You know, the usual for what we see here. Let's get it fixed. Here we go. Those DC filters are up first. We'll replace those before they go bad and need to be replaced, i.e. causing death sparks and all sorts of base issues. They are ceramic capacitors, so they naturally decay and go bad over time, whether they're being used or not. So, it is one of those routine maintenance items. Have I had many entries for the giveaway? Yeah, I've had a few. I think we're at about 70 right now. Which is kind of, frankly, a little less than I was expecting. But I'm also not putting a whole lot of effort and energy into posting the link everywhere. I'd like to not spam everybody. People that are close enough to our channel and our content are the ones that really deserve to have a chance, and they'll notice our giveaway, and hopefully they'll have a chance to enter before we pick a few people on the first. But also, we'll probably see a few more before we enter. We got some fun comments on there that I'll enjoy reading out when we get to them. Alright, let's fine tune that. That's a little sloppy. Ooh, and a little hot. Beautiful. Oh, that top one, maybe just a little more. There we go. Excuse me. We move on now to our dead diode. Another 48K date code there. Are we replacing them with the same value or upgraded? So you don't want to mess with many of the values of those filters, but we use a higher voltage rating, and we don't cheap out. We don't buy the cheapest ones, so we use the best ones you can get. In theory, they'll at least outlast the originals, which, looking at the date today, it's been 6 years since they were put in there, so on the low end, I would expect them to last another 6 years. On the high end, at least double or triple that. And that's, we're assuming Apple used subpar quality components, which is why they're failing sooner than we'd like. Subpar components and or an amplifier design that can't really account for them going bad. Back together you go. brand new solid rubber subwoofer gasket. The old foam gasket is fine, but it is slightly porous. It allows just a tiny bit amount of air through at a controlled rate to kind of dampen it. So it's not a 100% sealed enclosure, but like 99%. And we replaced that old foam with solid rubber to give it a perfect solid, I'd say 99.9% seal. Nothing in life is perfect, but it is a noticeable improvement over the porous foam, and it'll last longer. I'm having issues trying to get my hands on more of them. I've apparently bought out all of the stock from 2 different websites now, and I can't even get a hold of them to get an answer when they'll have more. Excuse me. All right. Two for two, heck yeah. And we're sitting at just under 40 minutes. We're doing good on time. We're doing all right. Let's get Rudy up here, and let's let NP number 187 know that they're up next. right.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. I'm having trouble connecting.
Aren't we all? All right, here's Rudy. They've got some sort of a bricked HomePod here, I should say. Let's get their name up. All right. I suppose I should get my Mac up and ready for this. Oh, FedEx. Yeah, I do not use FedEx. I'm kind of glad that Pirate Ship does not offer FedEx, because I wouldn't use them even if they did. They couldn't, they wouldn't be capable of shipping dog poop from my front door to my trash can without taking a week to send it to Memphis for sorting first, and I'm in Seattle. Well, at least I'm not, pressed on waiting for that to show up here. Let's make sure my IP didn't change. We're still on 61, very good. We'll turn my Mac screen on so you guys can see what we're doing here. If you promise not to take a peek at my password. Appreciate it, thank you. Okay, so here's how we're gonna do this one. We got the blinkies. Let's get the debug port exposed. And we're gonna find out why this thing is blinking on us. Where is... here we go. We don't want to scratch this top up. I've got a nice form-fitting cover for it. Okay, we'll plug in our USB cable first. It is upside down already. Let's plug in our power and run our favorite commands. We're going to pwn it to put it in the state needed to push custom firmware. And then we'll run the iDevice restore command. And we will cross our fingers. Most hardware issues will throw an error in this process pretty early on. So we'll see if this one's going to be an easy one or a hard one. It's not going to work. Waiting for NAND, not a good place for it to hang at. That means either the logic board can't talk to the storage chip because the solder went bad, or the storage chip itself died. Usually when I see that error, it's the storage chip became unsoldered. Kind of like the old days of Xbox 360s and the red ring of death, or the PlayStation and the blue line of death. There's a bunch of little solder balls that hold the storage chip to the board and interconnect it. And over time, they will crack and corrode from the thermal cycles of warming up and cooling down. Unfortunately, this one is going to need a new logic board. Let's see if they opted for that, or if they said, please don't. Nope, okay. They said fix it at all costs. So, let's do it. Normally, I would attempt to repair this particular logic board first, but just because of how many we've got waiting to get fixed here, I do have another logic board ready to go. So we'll swap that out with a working one, and we'll knock out the rest of the hardware maintenance to prevent any other reason for this to come back to us. And that should be one happy HomePod. I would always prefer if these were just software issues and I didn't have to do all the extra work, even if I can charge extra money for it. It's parts that I potentially have to throw away instead of being able to fix. But at least these days we have the option to frickin' try it. You asked us 6 months or more ago, and we would have said, you got blinking volume buttons, you can pay $100 for a repair. And yeah, even if it's just a software issue and you don't want anything else done to it. There was no way to even try a software restore on these. I wonder if Apple figured that people would figure out how to restore the software on these, or if they thought we wouldn't figure it out, and they were going to be safe in telling anybody with a bricked HomePod, even if it is just a software issue, that it's a hardware issue they have to pay for a replacement for. I mean, I would understand if most of these were indeed hardware issues, but at least from what we've been seeing, if your HomePod's got the blankies, there's a good 50% chance it is just a software issue that can be restored via our special USB cable. They know. So then the next question is, well, if they knew, was it just literally more work for them than they wanted to pay to get done? So they didn't bother, and they figured, well, someone else will figure it out eventually. We'll just let them do it. For people desperate enough, they have a solution if they can figure it out. Make something just difficult enough that the average person will trust whatever Apple says, but someone smart enough can figure it out. The person that's probably not going to pay Apple for a replacement if it does break. They don't want to make it easy enough so that people that are on the fence of like, okay, it's broken. Do I try to get it fixed or do I pay for a replacement? Feels like they want to be a gust of wind that kind of blows people over to that side of the fence that says, make it just difficult enough that they won't bother. Oh, you like those caps? Yeah, I don't think they have anything to do with the audio signal itself. I think they have more to do with the power delivery. They don't use any electrolytics for any audio filtering. That is actually done right here, these 4 guys. We're gonna get those replaced, as a matter of fact, before they do go bad and cause all sorts of bass issues. Also, big warm welcome to that guy in the chat. Welcome, welcome. Everyone give that guy a good old hello. The question is, are you that guy? Are you that guy, pal? I mean, I'm not saying I don't think you're that guy, pal, but you can't just go around saying you're that guy without credentials, right? Sorry, I gotta work on my dad jokes. You know, I am a dad after all. Gotta stay on top of my game. Ooh boy, those are some of the finest filters I've ever done. Let's get, well, let's see if it even needs a new diode. 52K. No, we do not need to bother with that. That is not a date card that fails and causes power issues. Ooh, 17 months? Oh, buddy. Ours just turned 2, and let me tell you, if you think for 1 second your kid is, as I thought, going through the terrible 2s 6 months early, just wait until that clock strikes midnight and they hit that 2 years age. It was like a switch flipped, and our kid went from you know, tame temper tantrums and, you know, typical baby things to Tasmanian devil. And just the loudest, gnarliest, angriest tantrums you've ever seen. She just stepped it up a whole notch. And here I am thinking, you know, when she turned, what was it, like 16 months? It kind of felt like she was like mentally 2, and she was going through that phase already, but no, we were sorely mistaken. Never thought I would have a kid, let alone enjoy having one so much. But then, you know, just one day it was like, you know, my wife and I were like, we've done a lot of the things that we wanted to do together, and kind of wanted to add another person to the family and have someone else to spend some time and experiences with. Have a chance to maybe like raise them right and help contribute to some good in the world, maybe. But I think we're gonna stay with one. We'll put all our energy and focus into the one, and if they want a brother or sister, we'll take them to the we'll let them we'll take them to the orphanage and let them pick one out. Like I'm sorry. I like to describe her as having all of the feelings of an adult, but the only way to express them is the binary of screaming or not screaming. I'm gonna have to tell my wife that when she gets back. That is gold. But that is so true, though. They and like when they can't properly express their feelings and emotions, they just get so upset about it too, and that binary switch flips. Oh, and it's the silliest, smallest things that set them off too. I cannot help but laugh sometimes, cause she'll grab her baby gate and just thrash around like she's at some Dragon Force concert in the middle of a mosh pit. You would swear the kid was screaming bloody murder. And what was wrong? Who knows? Who knows? But one of my favorite things of having a kid is literally right before your eyes watching them like learn or unlock a new skill or like learn how to say something new. Something else. Dared to offer to open her yogurt. Yep. And it's so hilarious because they'll basically like ask you for help, and as soon as you actually start to try to help them, or it'll be a no, I don't want dad helping me with this. I want mom to help me with this. Mom's got to be the one to help her. She has chosen her favorite, and it is mom. Oh, and I gave her the nickname the 2-second timer, cause if you leave her alone, you've got approximately 2 seconds before she realizes it and starts freaking out. She's a lot better with me leaving her than mom. And if I'm sitting with her, I could be holding her. And if mom is in the same room and she walks away, that's game over. That's like she's alone, even though I'm right there. It's like I don't exist. That is okay though. 'Cause soon it'll all be a thing of the past, and you'll, before you know it, you'll be missing it. So I'm just trying to enjoy every second of it that I can get. I had plenty of time by myself before I had a kid, and I'm gonna have plenty of time to myself, you know, after they get older and decide to do what they want on their own. I want to enjoy what I got while I got it. And you should too, be it your kids, or your HomePods, or many other things. I used to stress out a lot about keeping my things like super nice, but it got to the point where I ended up changing how I use them and using them less or just not at all because I was so worried about getting it dirty or putting a scratch on it or breaking it or something. And I eventually got over it, and I realized, like, I get much more enjoyment out of things just using the shit out of them. Pardon my language, but we're only a beer and a half in. It might get a little a little crazier from here, but I found myself enjoying life a lot more when I try to enjoy what I got and use it for what it is, and try not to worry too much about breaking it, having fun. It's easier said than done for me with HomePods. You know, I love to crank my speakers up and blow my eardrums, but one of the big reasons I got into fixing HomePods was I wanted to figure out how to fix them myself and keep them going. I loved them so much that I started worrying about not being able to get more of them and not being able to fix my own if they broke. So that motivated me to figure it out. And the demand for fixing other people's stuff kind of just followed along. I didn't even intend to start this whole repair service. I just wanted to figure out how to fix the stuff, buy more broken ones for myself and fix those, and just have a bunch of HomePods. And, you know, why not document and share how to do all of that? I didn't even put a good working logic board in here. We just put this, we put that dead board in there. That's what I get for talking and working. If you ever wonder why I get so quiet in the middle of my repairs, that is why. I distract myself. Well, anyways, this we need to take this apart just a little bit to put in a working logic board really quick, and then it'll be good to go. But yeah, I didn't start all of this to make a bunch of money. I started all of this because I thought people were just gonna, you know, I could make a little bit of a name for myself finding out how to fix these and publishing the info. I just wanted a little credit. But it turned into this whole, hey, can you fix it for me thing? And here we are. Ah, there we go. If I don't have to undo it, I don't wanna. Let's see, I got another white one right here. I'll take that cable. Let's see, I have redone this one, right? Yes. Cool. This one should be good. These can be tricky because they might test okay for a day, a week, a month, and then they'll brick themselves again. And that's usually a sign that there's a hardware problem on that logic board, much like that NAND issue that we're replacing this one for. And basically, sometimes I think I've got a good logic board to replace and use, but I was wrong. But that's why I have, that's why I try to offer a good warranty. You know, I think if your stuff is still working after a I got it fixed and you've got yourself a good set of parts. But I will not hesitate to admit that these bricked HomePod repairs can be kind of hit or miss sometimes. Especially when even when they take the software restore, you don't know if the software originally goofed up because of a hardware issue. And I'm not going to want to keep, well, I would love to keep people's HomePods for months to test them. That's just an excuse for me to have a whole bunch of HomePods, even if I have to give them back. But most people want their stuff back. They want it back before they forget about it, especially. So the best that it seems that you can do is stockpile as many good tested parts that you can test as much as possible beforehand, and offer a good warranty that doesn't put people out any more than just a little bit more of their time if you do miss something. I don't know. I never went to college, so I mean, I don't have any formal education beyond what's required to get your GED, believe it or not. I've just got 12 or so years of real-world work experience. Most of it's not even in any of this whatsoever. I basically never work on electronics in my day job. I'm mostly software support and figuring out how to fix software problems. All right. Rudy's ready to go. Let's see, we've got NP187 up next. Let's roll them over here. And we are going to take a brief break, take a minute to run to the bathroom, make some coffee or tea, grab a beer. We will be right back. Yeah, obviously it's not going to be 6:15 Pacific time. That's more like it. All right, we are back. We are back with number 187. After which, we've got another bricked pod to play with. BR195. Let's go find their info. Shoot them a message. All right. Let's see what we have here. No lights, no power, a couple of watts from the wall. Ah, there you go. All right, let's see what it's got. Without the issues you're fixing, do you think the HomePod is worth what they charge for? Absolutely. I thought they were worth the money when they brought them down to $300. And if you can get your hands on one for $150 to $200 in good working condition with a warranty, absolutely worth it. Even then, still, even with their age. I wouldn't pay more than that for a used working first gen, but there's nothing that comes close to the HomePod, even to this day. And it's not like they're totally ripping you off on the hardware either. It cost them around $249 just in materials cost to put these things together. And then there's the cost of research and development and shipping the thing and supporting all the software. $249 it cost Apple just to put this thing together, not including all that extra stuff. So that's one heck of a deal. They really took their time making this a serious smart speaker, not just another Bluetooth speaker on the market. They wanted this to sound great, and they did a great job with it. So much and so that I think it sounds better than the second gen. But to each their own, you'll find mixed opinions on that. I think the first gen just has more raw power behind it. And when we replace that foam subwoofer gasket with solid rubber, then its bass response is even comparable to the second gen. I think that's the only difference between the two as far as the bass is concerned. They're using the same subwoofer speaker, and they're already pushing it to the max in the first gen, so it's not like they can pump more power into it with the second gen, even though they're using a bigger amplifier in there. That's just so it doesn't, take, for example, a Honda Civic at redline. Sure, it might be making 200 horsepower, but what Apple has done is instead of the 4-cylinder running at redline all the time for the first gen, they put a V6 or a supercharged V8 in the second gen, and they're only running it at 40 to 60%, and it's making the same power. First and second gen are both outputting the same power. The second gen is just doing it more efficiently. So where's the sound difference coming from with the second gen? There's two major things. There's fewer tweeters, but more directionally fired outward. So the first gen, the sound coming out of the tweeters has to kind of loop around before it exits the speaker and reflects off the surface. The second gen, the tweeters fire directly out, so they aren't reflecting as much. But the subwoofer, if they're powering it with the same amount of power, what's the difference? I think it's that gasket. Because the second gen has, wouldn't you know it, a solid subwoofer gasket made of rubber. Unlike the first gen and its porous foam one. And to expand on the answer, yes, I do think it's worth what they charge for these HomePods, with or without their issues. We've fixed so many of these on here. We've seen so many of them, but at the same time, even if Apple sold 1.5 million of these, we haven't even hit a fraction of 1% of all of those. So, in general, most of them probably won't have any issues. They are well within an acceptable failure rate for a mass-produced consumer product. Alright. 4 fresh new filters on there to keep the farts away. Let's fix the dead diode here. We've got a date code of 46K. That's what we're looking for. Those 46Ks and the 48Ks that are the ones that keep failing. It's not like Apple used the inappropriate spec for the job or anything, it's just that the manufacturer of this diode gave them crappy diodes for a few weeks. That should make for one happy HomePod. Let's get it back together. Alright, let's see. Did we do it again? Of course we did. Of course we did.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the Home app. I'm having trouble.
Where are your volume buttons? Oh, there they are. Alright, alright. 187. Good to go. We now move on to 195. Let's give them a chance to prove themselves while we email our next repair up. We've got NP 185 up next. Let's find their info. 185.
Scan. Alert. Undo.
No.
Narrator window.
Exit narrator. Thank you.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Oh. 195. Oh, I have this written down wrong. My apologies. This is not a bricked repair. This is rather one with the death farts. Those 4 filters that you see us replacing inside of pretty much every HomePod we take apart before we get to replacing the Schottky diode that causes no power. Those 4 filtering capacitors you see us replace, well, they have gone bad in this one. So we'll get them replaced. We'll see if it needs anything else while we're in there. Hopefully the subwoofer speaker didn't get fried from all of this. Whew. Alright. And we should probably change their issue. It's not bricked. They've got DC offset. That is the technical term for this issue. A lot of your powered audio amplifiers are supposed to output a clean AC audio signal for your speaker. But with certain types of amplifiers, you have what's called DC offset, which is basically more or less unwanted DC voltage making its way through that audio signal. That was not locked down. That was unlocked from the factory. Shame on you. And anyways, death farts. Yeah, these, jeez. These filters unfortunately go bad whether they're being used or not, so they kind of all the HomePods will eventually need new filters, but they could have made it a little easier for us. Hello? SB, welcome back. Great to see you here with us again. I forgot to give their subwoofer a good sniff here and make sure it's still okay. Oh yeah. Alright. Looks like we've essentially got a little bit of maintenance to do on this, and that'll keep it going. Let's get that out of there. Disaster. Crisis averted. Alright, does it need a new Schottky diode? No, it does not. We're looking at a 5.2K there. What about our 10 ohm subwoofer resistor? Wow, Looking great. Alright. These guys got rather lucky. Not a lot of casualties here, just some new filters. I won't complain though. I need all the quick and easy repairs we can get to get through this queue in a reasonable time. Oh, that's nice to see. Kind of surprising for me. I feel like I am a fairly tense and anxious person. So to be able to have a repair stream where we're doing the opposite for other people, that's really nice to hear. For me, it's my chance to kind of space out and just think about stuff. You know, kind of like when you go on a long drive and you go into autopilot mode. You don't have to consciously think about how you're driving or where you're going. It happens to me a lot here fixing these. I just kind of get into that autopilot mode and have my time to myself. Even though we're not alone, we're here with you guys. But there's also something about watching something come to life. Watching something get put back together just the right way. What are the auto captions saying about this screwdriver? That's hilarious. Where? Alright, I'm gonna run to the bathroom while this boots up. Okay.
I'm having trouble
Yes.
connecting to the... I'm having trouble...
That is way better. Alright, we've got number 185 here. After this, we've got Way Across Life. Let's see. Number 140. Let's let them know they're up next. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay. We've got... Where's my mouse? Another anonymous no power repair here. We are closing in on that backlog. Yes. No lights, no power. No power draw? Is this correct? I'm gonna plug this back in. Okay, so it jumps up and then it falls down. So that's not a blown fuse. That's a short. That's not the usual short we see though. So it's not going to be the typical dead diode. What will it be? I have a feeling it's going to be either a busted display or a short somewhere on our logic board. We've got a fun one. I did not plan this. Display looks fine. So it's probably a short on the logic board. Let's try a known good logic board with their display and everything else to confirm my theory. Oh, nope, I am incorrect. There's still something more severe going on inside. So their logic board is fine, their display, well actually we don't know if it's their display. We can find out though. Here's another known good display with my logic board. That kind of power draw though normally is not the display. Yeah, same exact behavior. Nothing. So, we continue. It's entirely possible it's the same dead diode as usual and we're just seeing an abnormal behavior with the power draw, but I kind of doubt that. I think our next most likely suspect is going to be a power supply issue. I'm gonna need another one for this. Oh, that's sticky. Let's try a different power supply. Now that we've got that one out. I can see the date code on our diode is already a 52K, so it's not the usual diode failure. This one's really got us kind of stumped at the moment. Let's see if it's the power supply. Ooh. That's interesting. When I plug it in, I hear a brrr. Let's see if you guys can hear that. You hear that? I'm gonna try one more time here. Happens about half a second after I plug the power in. Ooh, something popped that time. I think we're done. I think that's the sign that we stop that. I have a feeling this is gonna need a whole new amplifier board. This is not gonna be a fun and quick and easy one. I'm almost expecting to pull this in. Sorry, thought I heard something. I was gonna say, I'm almost expecting to pull this amplifier board out and find a hole in the main amp chip. Ooh, I have never seen that before. That is insane. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. That is intense. I am sorry for the reaction there. I just can't help myself. We've seen thousands of these, and this is probably some of the most intense damage I've ever seen. I'm kind of tempted to plug this in and see what it looks like. What do you guys think? Yeah? No? No, I don't wanna. Wow. I cannot believe it. That's just... wow. Are we gonna be able to fix that? I mean, we can try. Wow. I have never seen this fail before, let alone like this. Wow. Is there supposed to be something there? Excuse me. Wow, that was a lot of inappropriateness there. Let's see. Yeah, there should not be anything there. Okay, cool. Well, let's just put a new one on there and see what happens. Yeah, maybe it'll blow up, and we'll get to see a recreation of what happened here. Wow. I am still trying to get over this. Wow. Do we even have any pad left? Yeah, I guess we've got some there. Unreal. Alright, I think that's enough for us to do something. Hopefully that's the right spot for it. I will be shocked if this works. This is kind of more just for fun. Like, I'm expecting that we're gonna have to replace this whole board, but I want to try. We'll see. If I can fix this, that would make me way happier. Actually, I need a different board that's, those don't look like the normal ones. And of course, every other board I've messed with. Here we go. Okay. Well, my hopes are not high for this one, but we'll give it an honest try. Oh, my hopes there aren't high, but we'll give it a try. This HomePod, it was fried. Bottom, 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 bottom. I don't know why, but we're gonna try to bring this HomePod back to life. Bottom, 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 bottom. Alright, I'm gonna try my logic board because I'd rather fry my logic board with questionable hardware than their possibly good logic board here. We should probably flip this around so we can get a good look at the show, hey? I'm gonna close my eyes, use the safety squints. Tell me if anything interesting happens. Oh geez, I'm nervous. 1, 2, 3. It's turning on. No way! No way! We fixed it! Woo! No way! Okay, let's make sure it actually makes sound. We've got the subwoofer plugged in. Here's a tweeter. No! It works! We fixed it! Oh! Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Well, let's carry on. Let's make this a healthy, happy, long-lasting HomePod and knock out our hardware maintenance. You know, the stuff that normally goes bad and that we normally think is what, causes these problems. Wow. That's the kind of stuff I'm living for, though. I'm used to all these normal repairs. I want to see some new and interesting stuff. Things that actually challenge me. I wouldn't mind if, like, I had competition that kind of, like, was better than me at this, so that I'd have more time to do other things. But unfortunately, it was brought to my attention that my only competition in the US is rather shady. So, I mean, from that perspective, I've got nothing to worry about. I guess I'm the guy. But I would like to move on from the pods. So we can find the new things that people don't know how to fix. I want to keep it going. You know, we've figured out how to fix all of the first gen HomePod's issues. We've documented and published all the info. People paying me to fix theirs is just an added bonus. My primary goal is to find all of the problems and document how to fix them and share that information with people. But my time recently has been quite consumed with people that don't want to fix it themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm in the same boat. I've got a car that I would much rather pay someone to have get fixed for me than do it myself. I just don't have I can't find anybody to do it. There's no trustworthy shops out there. Wow, go figure. Be it cars or computers or electronics repairs, there are shady shops out there, unfortunately. I figured, why not set an example and show how easy it is to just do it the right way? But no. People want to steal my work. Well, not steal it's not stealing my work if I'm giving it away. And I'm happy to give the information away. That's, like I said, that's my goal here, is to show people how to fix this stuff, not make money fixing it for you. We don't need a new diode. That's dated 5.2K. This one's ready to go. But anyways, it just seems like you cannot get away from the shadiness. Like my Z. At the beginning of this year, January 4th, I was involved in an accident that was through no fault of my own. The lady was on her phone and ran a red light and damn near killed me. Stay off your phones. And if I catch you on your phone while you're in your car, I will do things. Anyways, after almost dying because somebody thought that their Instagram was more important than my family's life, I was able to file an insurance claim and not only get my car's value back, but I actually got enough to treat myself to a right-hand drive straight from Japan, imported 1989 Nissan Fairlady Z, the twin turbo. Oh, I have wanted one of those for so long, and you know, it wasn't the circumstances that I wanted to prompt me to buy one, but I had the money, and the right one popped up for sale, and I snatched it right up. It only had 90,000 miles. For a car that's over 30 years old, that's not bad. And it was ready to drive. All it needed was the 120,000 mile maintenance to prevent issues from happening. And we were in a pretty good spot with everything financially, so I figured, why not pay a professional shop to do the maintenance on this car for me instead of learning how to do it all myself. Save the time, maybe save some money trying to do it myself and screwing it up and breaking things. You know, point being, pay a professional with experience to do it for me. Treat myself. And boy, was that a mistake. I had to take that car back like 2 times. The first time was because they had... No, I only took it back once. I did only take it back once, but the one reason why I took it back was severe enough. Because when I took it to them to do the 120,000 mile maintenance, it involved replacing the timing belt. And it is an interference engine. So if the timing belt goes out, then the valves are opening and closing at the wrong time that the pistons are moving up and down. So things smash together and basically you need a new engine. So I paid them to replace the parts to prevent that from happening. And guess what happens? They don't do it right. And it falls apart with my kid in the car in the middle of the highway. So I take it back to them and they basically pull the motor and do a whole rebuild, a whole fresh rebuild of the motor. And I get it back and they still messed some stuff up. I mean, nothing major, but it's like things that I wouldn't expect a professional that I'm paying for the job to do, like leaving trash in my car and things not being put away the way they should, or things not being bolted together. And what's really frustrating is this is the only shop in the entire state that specializes in Z cars. They're literally named after the freaking car they're working on. And they've been in the business for more than, I think, 20 or 30 years, with the manager there being the same guy the whole time, practically. So, and for years I'd always dreamed of, and I know this sounds silly, but I had dreamed of taking one of my Z cars to these guys just to experience what it's like. Like, I had dreams and hopes and big expectations for these guys. Like, this was going to be a super nice shop. Like, they don't take junk and they do quality work. But it turns out they are literally just trying to get through as many cars as possible and trying to get away with as much as possible. And, you know, it's no different with electronics repair. You got places like U-Brake iFix that use low-quality replacement parts. And like, oh, cool, whatever, they can fix your phone and you can come back and pick it up in an hour. But what's the point if it's, you know, if they're basically doing they're converting your phone to trash for you. And then you've got other people fixing, you know, offering HomePod repairs that use my information, and I wouldn't have a problem with competition. Like, that's perfectly fine. Competition breeds innovation and improvements. But when my competition wants to turn around and pretend like they're the guy, they're the one that figured it out, they're the only ones in the business, and they're going around making fake accounts to spam all these forums with their business. That doesn't sit right with me. And I'm not gonna name any names. But like, you're not gonna be a successful business. In fact, you're gonna ruin your name if you're gonna go around acting in bad faith like that. You know, that just literally looks like you're taking the easy route, taking my work and then unethically advertising to take my customers. What's the advantage? What benefit? What positive does somebody have going to you instead? But I'm not worried about it, because like I said, it's not sustainable. You can't keep doing that forever. You're gonna get caught. People are gonna call you out for it, and you're gonna crash and burn. And if you try to do anything else, that's gonna stick with you forever. People are gonna remember that. How hard is it to just do the right thing and be patient? I wasn't going around making new accounts and pretending to be other people suggesting my repair service at the start of this. I was literally with my primary and my personal account. I would go around and offer straight up free repairs for people just to make a name for myself. I would say, here's how you fix it yourself. If you don't want to fix it, I can make you a deal. I know I'm new in the game. You haven't heard of me before. It's hard to trust a guy that's just pops up out of nowhere and says, hey, send me your $300 smart speaker and pay me money for it, and I'll fix it for you and send it back. I understood that at first. So I offered, I just said, hey, if you ship it to me, I'll fix it and send it back to you for free. I did that enough times to where people were talking about me and just saying how great I was. I never thought that I was going to be fixing so many to this day. I didn't think I'd be like charging a fee and setting up a whole mail-in repair service like this. It was, like I said, I just wanted to fix these for myself, figure out all of their issues, and share the info so other people could do the same. Oh, and it's what really stings is that when I recommend people to them. Like, you guys know, I've got my website, I've got a list of everybody around the world offering HomePod repair services. But I don't mention anyone in the US because there's no one else in the US that you can trust. Well, actually, there's one person. I don't know their work, but they seem more trustworthy than the other option. But anyways, what really stung was I have been recommending people to them, to this particular outfit that fixes HomePods. They're pretty new to the game. They've only been around for, I think, like 6 months now. But I've been recommending people buy their refurbished HomePods because I don't want to sell HomePods. I want to fix them. I don't like selling them because it takes away from parts that I've got to make more for myself or fix whatever gets sent in here. So people ask me, hey, can I buy a HomePod off of you? And I tell them, no, I don't sell refurbs, but you can go to this guy. He sells refurbs. and they've got a 1-year warranty on their work too. So I'd been recommending people to them.
I'm having trouble connecting to the...
And then
I'm having trouble connecting...
someone reaches out to me saying, hey, by the way, did you know that guy that you've been recommending for selling refurbished HomePods has been doing all this shady shit? No. Now I'm upset because I look bad recommending this guy. And I could have just... I mean, now I sell refurbs. I stopped recommending that guy. I just said, screw it. I'll sell refurbished HomePods myself if I have to. I gotta do everything myself around here. Alright. We've now got Way Across Life with a bricked HomePod. After that, we've got 2 more. Well, 2.5 more. We're getting close to done here. We've got Chris. I think they've got no power here. Chris number 20. An OG. Looks like they texted us, so we'll text them back here. Alright. Chris has been texted. Way Across Life here has confirmed their issue with the blinking volume buttons. Vishal! Yes! Oh, I'm so glad you could make it. Folks, this is Way Across Life, self-proclaimed as Vishal. Go search their name up on Google. You'll see why they gave themselves the name that they've got. I love to see people's journeys through life and what they do. And if you send in your HomePod repair and you've got an Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, a business, or literally anything you want people to check out, let me know, and I'm happy to put you up there and get your stuff in front of as many more eyes as we can get. You're helping me out a ton by supporting me and my family by sending this stuff in here for us to fix. So we'll do what we can to return the favor. This one is a bricked HomePod. I was kind of expecting, based on that base being removed, I thought you tried restoring this yourself. But I don't see any evidence on the debug port that any adapter has been connected yet. Let's see. My battery's low? No way. This was fully charged. Alright, well, I'm going to skip the screen share to hopefully have enough battery to make this happen here. Let's see, we've pwned it. We're going to reset it. We're going to attempt a restore. Fingers crossed. Sending restore disk, sending cache, waiting for restore mode. Will it take it? We will find out. It's working. It's restoring. It's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. Oh, what a great stream. Let's see. Did they opt for the additional hardware maintenance? They did. Okay, so, wow. This is taking a software restore. If only Apple offered a service where their customers could take their HomePod in and they just plug it into a computer and do the same thing. I don't know why they did not. But we'll do it for them. We'll do it for them. Wow. Good stuff. Let me go grab my charger. Alright. We are successfully restoring the software on that HomePod. Give me just a second. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break while this is restoring. We'll be right back, and when we get back, we're going to start tearing into the next HomePod. Okay. Cheers, folks. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put my laptop down to the side here so we can make space. If I can find my mouse. There we go. I'm gonna put that down here on the floor. Scoot this off to the side. And we're going to move on to the next one while that one restores. We've got Chris here with no power. Go ahead and put their name up on the screen. And let's dig on into this one. This mesh. Oh, Chris. Oh boy. If you want, I can put a new mesh on here for 20 bucks. But if this is a HomePod that you really don't care how it looks, then yeah, no sense spending the extra money on it. But that is one beat up mesh. I tell you what. Oh, Vishal. No, I don't mean to say yours is in bad shape. Yours is in remarkably great shape, I must say. The mesh is still nice and firm in a solid single piece. It looks great. I'd feel bad replacing your mesh because I don't have much anything that would look better than it. You've got one that looks really good as it is. Chris's HomePod here, however. This HomePod has been through it. I would not mind if Chris wanted to pay us a couple extra bucks to replace this for them so that we can make it look nice and pretty. But I also totally understand if they put it somewhere where it doesn't matter. No big deal, you know? I've got a garage pod, I've got a bathroom pod. I've got pods in places I don't want them to look pretty. Looks like the software restore is getting pretty close to done on Way Across Life there. It finished? No way. It worked. It's alive. Well, let's find out here for sure. We'll flip them around. We'll get them plugged back in here. Let's see if they're alive. Yes. Vishal, your HomePod is working again. It's alive. So now that we've got Vishal, or Way Across Life's HomePod, restored and operational, they did opt for the hardware maintenance, so we will be doing that. Basically the exact same stuff that we're doing to Chris's HomePod here to prevent other more common issues from happening. That's the death farts and other bass issues from these filters, and no power from that Schottky diode. So we'll get Chris's wrapped up, and then we're gonna fix Linda up, and we will save the hardware maintenance portion of Way Across Life for the next stream, just because we're running thin on time here. I want to scoot that top one up just a little more. You see how the pads on the board above it are still exposed right here and right here. We want, at the very least, we want the capacitor to be fully covering the pads on the board. It doesn't matter if they're straight or crooked, as long as they're not touching anything they shouldn't be touching, and they've got a full contact patch with the board, they'll be okay. But I like to make them nice and straight either way. So, what does this need? It does need a new Schottky diode. That is dated 46K, so we're gonna get that replaced. That's likely what's causing the power problem for Chris's pod here. Oh, my heat gun is too close to the magnet instead of the subwoofer for this HomePod, so we'll go ahead and put this to the side. Alright, Vishal, we will wrap yours up in the next stream. For all intents and purposes, yours is all fixed up. It took nothing more than a USB software restore, but we'll get it apart and we'll replace the hardware stuff that likes to go bad and cause more issues on I think we'll have another stream tomorrow, if not Sunday. And then we'll get you your HomePod back. My goal was to be done by 4 p.m. Pacific time today, but I think we're gonna bleed just barely past that. Yeah, unless we can get this HomePod fixed and back together in 2 minutes, we're gonna run over time. I guess we should let Linda know that they're up next. 1:45. Let's see. There we go. All right. Oof, that mesh is What do you think? That's what I thought. If you thought otherwise, then I am offended. All right.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, I'm having trouble connecting to.
We are closing in. Linda, here we go. Linda's got no power. After Linda, I keep forgetting about this poor fella, but they took apart their own HomePod and sent us the part by itself that needed fixed. So we'll need to knock that out for him. But first, let's take care of Linda here. Gonna try to make this a flawless, clean run here. Maybe even set a personal best record for repair time. Not looking good. Oh geez. Oh geez. Oh geez. Linda! Linda made it! Yes, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the insides of your HomePod. I'm sure you've never thought about it before, but here it is. The secret sauce. What makes it all happen. The amplifier. Yes. Let me add them. Let's get that power supply out of the way. Okay, first up, we're going to replace these 4 capacitors. They have nothing to do with the current power problem at hand, but since they are ceramic capacitors, anybody in the industry knows that ceramic caps go bad over time. Whether they're being used or not, they go bad. For the HomePod in particular, this will result in the infamous death farts, along with all sorts of bass issues. So we like to knock that out and reduce the number of reasons that this HomePod could ever come back to us. All right. And now for our actual problem component, the 48K dated Schottky diode, known for failing due to a quality control issue. We will get this replaced with a brand new one. By in and of itself, that'll prevent the problem from happening again. Technically, the replacement that we use is an upgrade, but it's not necessary. We just do it more for peace of mind than any necessary reason. We could pull this diode off of another used working HomePod and it will work just fine. Wouldn't happen again if it's not the same date code, that is.
there were 2 weeks at the manufacturer of this diode where they must have had something funny in their water, and they decided to make things that weren't going to last. This component generally doesn't fail. Unlike those filters that naturally decay and age over time. This diode should not be dying.
Alright, alright.
I'm having trouble connecting
Yes.
to the internet. I'm
Alright. That is it for all the hard ones. We've just got one easy one left here today, folks. Oh boy. We've got keys. They've got no power. They sent in the parts. They already took it apart for us. Look at that. So that should make for a very easy repair here. Let's go ahead. We've got a new diode already on there. So they have attempted something, but they it seems like they still didn't get it working. Let's put this all together and see what we're dealing with. This will be an interesting one. Do I have a screw for a power supply? Yes, I do. We only need one of those in here. Not much, just enough to keep it from wiggling around. Let's get a subwoofer connected. Let's get our logic board and a display. Looks like I need to give up one of my display cables for him. Oh, it's right here. I'm silly. Okay. What have we here? I need the cable for the power supply. Where did that go? It was right here. We're so close. Where is it? What the heck? It was right here. Fine. Fine. I'll pull another one.
Oh, I just want to get out of here. This normally spins right out, but I don't know why it's refusing today. Well, this is a totally broken HomePod shell, so I don't feel bad about making an example out of it. But still. Would be nice if we didn't have to make a spectacle of it. Okay. Oof. Is that enough? Can I have my table? Yes. Alright. You back into the parts pile. You, I don't know what to do with these. They were already broken, so. Whew. All that so that we can plug this power supply into the wall and see what this thing is doing. Ooh, did you see that? It just let out the magic smoke. Ooh, that's stinky. What'd you goof up here, buddy? Okay. Let's make sure that there's no short there still. No? Oh. No, that diode still appears shorted. This one is going to be a little more complicated than I thought it would be at first. Well, Mr. Keys, I hate to do it to you, making you wait so long just to watch us poke it for 2 minutes and say, we'll try again later. But, you know, I am getting really hungry, and it's best if we work on this stuff with a full stomach and not an empty one. So, I might just send you a different amplifier board. This might be more work than it's worth. So, folks, subscribe and keep in touch. We will be doing another repair stream here this weekend. Of course, as more HomePods show up, we'll always be having more repair streams, but in any case, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I'll catch you in the next one.